All right, folks, got us a 2015 Nissan Altima. I think we had it in a previous video where we showed the lower control arm here being broke off and the other one not being far behind, cracked all the way around. I've got us some used parts to throw on there. I was able to get us a whole used subframe assembly cheaper than we could get just control arms, and I think we're gonna have a lot less problems and we have a lot nicer parts to put on. I got it with both knee assemblies, so we've got the whole knuckles and brake rotors, everything there. The shipping company bashed the heck out of the backing plates, which kind of sucks, but we'll deal with that. The salvage yard I got it from, a guy named Bobby. Well, that's not his name, it's the name of his shop, is Bobby. It's down in Alabama. Great guy to deal with. He sent me pictures of it before sending it, and the backing plates were mint. It was on the crate good, but the shipping company was pretty shady. So it looks like they dropped a bunch of stuff on it. But at any rate, I think we need to drop the exhaust, get that out of the way. Take the wheels off it. We're going to hook the brake hoses, unhook the brake cables, unhook the ABS wires. And then I think it's a matter of just unbolting it. It should be a whole contained assembly. Drop it down, pop the new one in, and unhook the shocks. Got to do that too. So let's get after it, boys. In order to take the exhaust off, you got to use the right side of the socket, number one. And then we've got to get the little cross members off here, if you will. So we're going to beat the socket up on it. We'll see if they want to play nice, hopefully. Yes, sir. On the floor. Perfect. All right. Fantastic. Couple more to go. We've got this little guy right here. Get the fingers up around here. They might be a 12 actually. Oddly enough, those other ones up there were a 13 millimeter socket. Kind of weird. Nissan. These are whittled down. Let me go grab a 12. Not today. So we get a socket to get that one off there. We'll be using the Mac Tools 12 millimeter RBRT socket. Check them out on YouTube. Dan, the RBRT guy. Nice guy. Okay, I think we'll leave the rest of the exhaust hanging for right now. We might spray with some Panther Pea. We gotta fire up Bic and cut those nuts off the front up there. Take the WD, see if we can't spray it up here on the hangers. We gotta get the front side of them hangers, but reduce the back. I'll see if I can't reach up in here and get the front of it too. So the nuts here on that flange are pretty well gone. The studs look to be in good shape, or good enough shape, so we're gonna see if we can't just cut those nuts off. We're gonna neuter this little guy. Get some gas going here. Come on, Bic. She's been off for a week, been on vacation. There we go. That's why the phone's gonna ring non-stop today. Oh, I missed you, Rust. These are bonded pretty well, so I don't know how good we're going to do. Come on, baby. Grab something sharp and pointy. Oops. Come on, little fella. There's one. I gotta get a light. I can't see a dang thing. This side we might have to cut a little more. I don't think I wasn't as generous on this side here. Yep, let me give that just a little nick. Now that we have the nut loose, we should be in good shape. The other stud turned out good. But now that we have a little airspace there from whacking on it, should be able to cut it off a little easier. Now we should be in good shape. There's that half. There's that half. All right, so we saved the studs. Everybody should be happy. I think I just burnt my nose though. Some slag fell down on my glasses. Not too bad, minor burn. We're gonna put our safety specs back on. We're gonna give these just a little tickle with the air hammer. Just massage them. Want to get this crack loose here. All right. That's all wiggly. I'm gonna throw a stand under this. We're gonna make sure that the rear mufflers are loose in their hangers. And then I'll go get my guy Josh and we'll slide her straight back and set her on the ground. Alright, we'll leave that there for right now. Didn't work out like planned, folks. I'll come back here with my bar and give it a little wiggle and the whole mess hit the floor. So, it's out and the rear mounts are a little looser than I anticipated. We're going to spray this little pantapee. Parking brake cables are under there. Under where? Under there. Part of them are. I don't know if we can actually unhook them from down here. But we're gonna give it the old try. It's gonna be a little noisy doing an AC service over in the other bay. So we'll take these off. It's all about trigger control. Nice and easy. There's those. Like I say, I don't know what we can see from down here. Probably not much. So we're going to tear some stuff apart on the inside, which that's fine. We'll save that for last. What we'll do, because when I had the guy send the subframe, I asked him if he'd unhook the cables, and he did. And that was really nice of him. And I think they're bolted on the inside anyways, a couple bolts, so we'll probably have to tear some stuff apart. We'll unhook them the rest of the way down through here, and then we'll just chop it off. We'll put our new cables in, and then when everything else is done, we'll go up on the inside. That was doing a burnout. Dingy, 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 all day long. I got an idea, stand by. Yes, sir. There, we'll roll it open just enough to get it out of the way. We'll figure out what to do with that later. Problem is everything's so rusty, you know, there's not much we can do here. Maybe. We'll figure it out later. We're going to bypass it for right now. Actually, yeah, we'll just leave it for the time being. There, that was easy. We've got these plastic bits here. Wow, not doing good. Didn't look that rusty. Didn't look that rusty. There's one. We got to do the same thing on the other side. There's another one over there. This is hiding the bolts that we need to get to. It's got a little dirt in there. Saucy. What do we got going on there? Oh, we got another one. Oh, let's get this one off the ground. Got one more here in the front. Right in my face. Nice dirt facial. Now we need to see if these bolts want to play nice. We got us a 21 millimeter. I don't know if you guys can see, but we're up here on the subframe stud. Looks like it's going to want to play. Give her a spritz of the WD on them threads. Yeehaw! So there it is. That's the beauty of this little guy, is the subframe bolts, if you will, bolts, are all studs. And then we'll try these little fellas here, 16 mm. We'll use the extension, keep the torque down. The no mercy reversey. We'll take this off. We will leave the nut up on here for safety. It's our safety nut. We'll stick this somewhere so we won't lose it. Right here on this side with the bolts. Same thing on the other side over here. We'll come back here to the rear. Appears to be loose. We'll give her a little spritz. Looks like it has some pressure on it, perhaps from the spring. Wrong way. Leave that alone for a minute. It's going to come off, but like I said, it looks like it has a bit of pressure. Let's go get the other side done. one's off. But these little guys off. Yeah. Just in case there's any water in there. We'll get the tires out of the way. They're probably gonna be stuck. I swear I dropped everything today. Not really different than any other day, I guess. So we'll put a nut on there. We'll give these a whack. These are usually pretty stuck. Oh, never mind. These ones are not stuck. Pull the grenade pin over here. Gonna be a little pop, I guess, probably, if you will. Oh, not too bad, not too bad. Expected a little worse. That's why I have my safety glasses on. Okay, there's that. Let's unhook our brake hoses. We should have ABS wire. Let's get that undone. ABS is right here. There's that. Here's the main connector for both rear wheel speed sensors. Alright, good. It's not crusty. It is hooked to the subframe in one other spot here, which I think we're going to make light work out of that. I can't see the back half of it, but I will in a second. Hey, we can see it now. Get the wire and harness flipped around here. I'm not even going to bother unhooking that piece I just cut off. I'm just going to shove the wiring up above here. Once we get the frame down, I'll unhook it the rest of the way. And then this wiring for the wheel speed sensors, that can stay right on the frame. So all we have left to do now is nothing. We gotta get brake hoses and get the jack under here. Like I say, it's probably stuck. Well, no, this front subframe came down on that side. This side feels stuck. So we may have some issues, but we have a cutting torch and determination. So we'll get it off one way or another. Let's unhook our brake hoses. Make it a little better for us, does it? A little bit. If you got a weak stomach, turn your head. Oh, yeah, we don't need the light anyways. We're gonna pinch that brake hose. Keep your eyes closed. Wrong size right away. What we got here, that was a 13, what was I thinking? 12 right here. That's real smart. I got a catch pan, but here we are. Come on, baby. There we go. That hose is off. We'll put our banjo right back in here. There's probably a washer on this side still. I'm guessing, yes sir. There's that. We're going to put that right back in the caliper. We'll leave our hose pinch pliers on there, so make sure you shy away. Don't look directly at it. Swept up the floor a little bit so we can get the transmission jack out here. We've got that holding up the subframe, or at least underneath there for the time being. We'll take this bolt off and all the rest of them. There's that one. The rest of these should be just finger tight. Whoa! Let me go grab a stand. I'm gonna stick it under the front just to make sure we don't tip the car forward. We got it back quite a ways on the lift because I anticipated this a little, but I'm gonna grab a stand of safety and stick it under the front, because when we go to put the new ones up, or the new frame up, the springs are gonna have a little more pressure, if you will, because the control arm's not gonna be half ripped down. So let me go grab that, stand by. Now this bushing on this side is still stuck. I'm gonna go grab, probably about a 2 give it a little yank. This may or may not work. Come on, baby. I'll take a little bit of pressure off the jack here. Yeah, she's stuck on that one pretty good. Let me try air hammering straight on that stud, because it just has rust buildup around the bushing. Let's see if we can't just vibrate it a little. Yes, ma'am. There it is, old son. Easy peasy. Whammo. There's our new one. Had Josh help me set it up here. New use. What do these guys down south do? Like I say, this is from Bobby's in Alabama. I'll leave his information in the description. The guy was pretty awesome. Usually when you deal with salvage yards, they suck, 95% of them. I've dealt with enough of them to know they're absolutely the worst people on earth to deal with. I asked him if he could save my park and brake cables, and he did. I asked him if he could save the ABS wiring, and he did. He cut it off on this side of the plug. I asked him if I could have one with good backing plates, and they were. However, like I said, the guy with the shipping company absolutely destroyed them. Bonds are smashed, tops are smashed. He had a bunch of junk laying on top of it in the back of his truck. So that kind of sucks, but they're good enough. I hope that we can beat them straight. Not the delivery guy, but these here. So we'll stick it up in. He did save the brake hoses for me also. If we can get ours unhooked, the nut. So we're gonna leave this right here. The thing looks like it's got brand new pads and rotors on it, despite the fact that they're a little rusty. One trip around the block, they'll be like new. So let's get her ready to go in. I'm indecisive at this point is if we're going to put it in with the springs or not. That had a fair amount of pressure on it. I don't want to take a chance knocking off the lift, and being that everything is, you know, loose on this or able to come loose, putting the springs in after the fact might not be too big a deal. He's got a really funky style of lower control arm, so we might try it and see where we get. If we can get to the point we can stick a nut on the bottom of the stud here, we'll be okay. We'll leave the shocks unhooked. I'll take them both in. We'll get the ones out of the car. We won't screw around with the brake hoses just yet, but then we'll get this baby slid up in there. So let's get started. That's the plan. This is where that other wire clip was that I cut off with the cutoff wheel. So that's for our ABS. I'm gonna come up here on the body, get the metal bracket that we chopped off. There. So that's just that metal bracket. That way there we can plug our wiring harness right back in. I'll leave that tucked out of the way. Let's buzz our shocks off there. Man, it's gotta be so nice working on Southern cars. Stuck the springs on here, put the insulators on the bottom. We'll run her up, see what things feel like, and then make a judgment call from there. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Working brake cable's getting tangled up there. There we go, yes sir. Oh, easy, fella, easy. I want to make sure all of our studs are going to be lined up. I want to make sure that the springs are sitting down in their mounts correctly. They are there is an orientation to them. You just give a little walk around, make sure everything looks good. I don't think we're going to go any higher with the jack. I think I can get a couple of the front nuts on, which if we do, then we can set the car down on a jack stand and push it right up, you know what I mean? You know what I mean, dude? Alright, there's that one. There's that one. Let me just buzz them up a little. I don't have the full bracket on there, but we got those nuts on. I'm going to take that nut back off. I'm going to put the bracket on the passenger side, driver's side rather. Wrong bracket, fella. Wrong bracket. Should be able to get the one on this side now. Oh, dang dong. There's that. That'll kind of hold it while we do what we have to do. Alright, we'll leave those kind of loose. Let's see about getting the studs the rest of the way up on the rear here. You can't do something sketchy unless it involves a block of wood. So we got our stand down here. I don't think it's going to take a lot of pressure to push this up. We'll find out here in a minute. Watch out for splinters. I think we're doing all right. Right? Feels okay. Got up high enough to do what we needed to. Run this up a little bit. It's sucking the whole car right down. Awesome. Alright, we'll hold that right there for a moment. May even be able to get the one on the other side. It's there. Move our block, which has no more pressure on it. Whew! That was easy. So now I removed the transmission jack. And what we'll do, we have to put the the plates and stuff on under here. But now that it's mostly secure, I'm gonna push that up all the way as far as I can. take that off. Give her a spritz. And we're gonna have to go through and do this to everything. Oh, you ding dong. Look at this guy. Here's a guy that can't think. Here's a non-thinker for you folks. Let's stick that there. Move our block of wood. We can't pick out there. Let's try right in here. It's going a little bit further. A lot of people are clattering down in the comment section. Why didn't I never seize all the studs and everything? One reason, folks. This vehicle will never have another rear subframe, ever. We'll go through and torque them to factory specs. But that's the reason. It's a waste of product, really. Because this baby is pretty rusty. As you see. And that's just a simple facts. This subframe will outlast the rest of the car, and to be honest with you, if it ever got in an accident where it got swatted in the ass end, it's going to be totaled because of miles and rust, so it's not really worth putting extra effort in, I guess. And we'll do the same thing on this side here. And then I'll just continue around to the other two on the front. And get those done as well. Once we're all done with this, we got to take it over on Josh's side there when he gets freed up today and do a wheel alignment on it. Oh, we're missing a bolt here. There we are. The ones that, the ones that hold the parking brakes on. And then I don't know if we can get this thing off or not without breaking it. Probably not. It's missing that plastic shield there. There's one. Where'd it go? There's two. Let's break the right hand side off just to see what it's made of. These plastic retainers there. Well, 2 out of 3 didn't break just pulling on it. There's no way to get behind here. They're kind of a one-time use deal. Let's just see if we do better on this side. Hey, none of them broke. Look at us go. So we've got all 3 retainers on that one. Yippee skippy, because that's one we needed. I don't know what its purpose is, but that's where it goes. I plugged our ABS wire back in there. Click that back in the bracket. These are the bolts that we just took off that frame here for the parking brake cables. I don't know if that's in our way. There's that. We'll get that buttoned up here. Frickin' truck drivers. Yeah, this thing's beat up pretty good. Better than what's over there, though. I'm gonna take and work at these for a little bit, folks. Got a couple other jobs here I gotta get knocked out of here. Let me work on kind of straightening these up. I bent this one. This one was shoved right straight down in behind the rotor. I kind of pried it out with a screwdriver. I'll see if I can't kind of beat them halfway straight. It's gonna be better than, you know, what they had, which was nothing. So these ones were pretty well hammered. So I'll work at that for a little bit. Other than that, I think we're doing pretty good. I never did pull the shocks off, but we will, because the shocks they sent with it are like brand new. So yeah, I'm gonna work on this for a little bit. Like I said, I got a few other things I gotta take care of here with Mrs. O. And then we'll get back at it and we'll see what we need to do as far as park and brake cables and getting that run. Hi Luna, come here. Come here, pumpkin. Hi. How are you? You want to go inside? You want to go see mommy? Huh? Come on. We'll let Luna inside. And that's it. That's where we're at, folks. So I'm gonna work on picking that up and then beating that tin straight on this thing. Let's see. Here we go, folks. Trying to figure out where we left off. Kind of a crazy day to try to make a video. We're gonna pull these rear shocks out. Just a couple of nuts up in there, taking a 13mm socket. I give them a little spritz down before I went and ate lunch. Hopefully everything's kind of fitting together here for us. I think perhaps we left off with straightening out the backing plates, which they straightened out way easier than I thought they were gonna. It didn't turn out half bad. Let me grab the new shock, or the new used one. Stick that one over there. These just appear to be in better condition, and the customer paid for them, so there's that. We're gonna get a nut started here in our socket. They're the same left to right, so we don't have to worry about any mix up there. Get that nut started, we'll grab the other one. And then I looked at the brake hose. I think instead of opening up Pandora's box here, if you will, we're gonna just hook the original brake hoses back up, because if we start messing with this stuff, you know, now we're looking at brake lines and everything else. So put this on torque setting numero uno. That one there. That one there. Come back, check this little fella. Alright, and then come back, loosen them up, and then torque them to factory specs, obviously. We got our safety stand. We got a block of wood right here. Stick that right under the head of the rotor. Start lifting this up. Make sure it's not getting too light in the back end here. Let's flip that around. Yeah, we're off the lift pad over here, but we should be okay. Pull that down a little bit. Come on. Get that started. 19 mil on the Uggy Duggy. 18 mil, sorry. Alright, we're not going to snug that up. We're going to leave that loose because I'm going to set it down. Put a jack stand under this little guy and we'll tighten that up. I think we did a video doing shocks on one of these, so same process. Once you've done that, we're going to remove this banjo bolt. Make sure you put everything on the floor. There goes our socket. Wiggle this off. Make sure you get both your washers so you don't have one accidentally stuck on there. Stick our banjo bolt in our OG brake hose. Feel for it back here. It's got a little peg it needs to line up in, so make sure you line it up. You won't be able to tighten it down if you don't, trust me. Make sure you use new crush washers and all that stuff. Alright, we'll snug that up lightly. We'll come back through, torque that to spec. Remove our brake hose pliers, and now you can open your eyes if you had them closed the whole time. Everything looks good there. We're gonna have to bleed them out. We're almost done, boys. Gonna bust out our old Vic again. So this is that parking brake cable or the bracket that we couldn't get off. There's a little metal piece under here that houses the stud, which is held on by a rivet. As you can see right here, it's the back side of the rivet. I just re-riveted this one to keep it from spinning, but to give us a little better chance of success, we're gonna heat it up. And then we'll use the impact there, and she should come right off. That's what we're hoping for. Usually you turn them that color, they'll come right off. Yes, sir. So now we can stick this little guy back on. It's well, still have dirt on it. It's insulated on the top, so you can't really see, but so yeah, anyhow, that's an easy fix. Oh, let's see, what way did this thing go? I think it went like this. Here, line back up over here. There she goes. Yes, sir. Let's see. Oh, that other little tin plate. Did that go in there first? I don't think so. Well, let's run our cables up through here. That goes there. This one goes here. Where'd that 10 mil go? Got it. There's that one. There's that one. We'll go grab some more of these nuts. And that one, and then this is that one we just did. Now that, we'll be ever so careful. And then we'll come back through with the torque wrench and make sure we get all those factory specs. Can't forget the plastic dirt collectors back here. Get these put back on. I think what we need to do now is go up inside the vehicle and find where these parking brake cables go. See what kind of job that is. I don't know if there's a bunch of crap inside the car or not. But I've got to figure that out, and then that's about it. Why am I not using a power tool? I don't know. I had this in my hand when I was walking by, I guess. So there's that. I'm gonna get the plastic bit on the other side. Don't really know their purpose either, but they do hold a lot of nice dirt. But yeah, they've got them there, and then that little plastic shoe we put on there. And brake-wise though, some people might be questioning about the rusty brake rotors. Those will clean up within like a minute of driving. And I'll pull wheel back off to prove it to you. In case I'm wrong, but they should clean up okay.
Film?
Yeah,
you're using film?
You're on film.
Wow.
You're on the camera. We're gonna take and bleed out the brakes here. We're gonna remove the little rubber cap. Gonna switch hands with you. Oops, let's switch hands with you again. 8 mil. So I grab the box end. Put a little cover on there, or a little rubber hose. You ready, Miss O? Down?
All the way?
Sure. Up. Down. Hey, it's that guy. Up. Down. Looks like we got him. How does it feel, baby?
Do I let up?
Yep. You can give them a little pump there if you like. See if they feel amazing. Push down a little bit harder. Make sure they're good. They're good?
It's not going down.
That's good. Oh, that's nice of you to help us too there, Miss O. Well, I tell you what, Nissan is usually like the Chrysler of the imports. But they did me a solid on this one. Look at this. The back end comes off from the center console here. Because I was wiggling the center console around, I'm like, how in the thunder do you remove this thing? I took all the personal belongings out of the center here, thinking it would screw down. No screws in there. I was like, well, feels like it's on the side, which it is. Like, well, we gotta pop this cover off. And wham, bam. That's what we need to get to right there. So, let's see if we can just get to it and do it right here without pulling the whole console out. I'll make it about a bazillion times easier. Oddly enough, service data did not have information on removing the cables, which I thought was ridiculous. They said, see exploded view with torque specs. So they had a picture, but of course just, you know, the cables, nothing else. Let's see. We might have to, do we really have to take that bolt out? We have to take, I don't think it's going to pick up past it. We have to take the bolt out that actually holds this center console in. And then there's one. So we're just going to shove that down through the hole in the floor here. We should be okay. It's back here under the carpet. Can't quite feel it. You're probably supposed to pull all the carpet out and everything to do this. Let's see here, folks. Yeah, I'm gonna have to move this seat ahead. This bolt here, I don't know if you guys can see it, that comes through from the other side is impeding the cable from coming up all the way. So let me do that. I'll get that unhooked. We'll go underneath and yank them suckers out. All right, and then we'll go like so. Get that one shoved up in there. That one's shoved up in there. I suppose we could just put the rubbers on right now. There goes Wally. Riding his scooter. Guy bought one of them Chinese Kimco scooters, like, I don't know, probably 6 or 7 years ago anyways. Every year, man, he's ripping that thing. I think he's got his money's worth out of it. Alright, the rubbers are in. I guess we can throw that tin on while we're right here. I don't think we're going to have any problems with them cables inside. There's one. There's two. Buckle my shoe. I forgot to order the new nuts for the exhaust, so I got them coming from Napper. Some 10 by 125 they look like, fine threads, super fine thread. Well, now the hard part, the semi-hard part, is hooking the cables back into the little donger up in here. See if I can get one side. It's kind of nice, it has a spring that holds it back for you, which is kind of nice. There's one side, there's one cable. Let's see if I can get this one, the old one-handed handy here. Oh, I had to use two hands. I cheated. Come on, baby. That went down. They do have a little alignment peg on them. There it is. There it is, little son. Got that up in there. Put both of these on. Oh, I need to move you. You're on my ratchet. Click, click. And clickety click. A bunch of clicking going on. We'll get these bolts back in here. Where you at, little fella? Oh, there you are. Gotta pick you up a little bit. Now we gotta plug this little guy back in. Probably an interior antenna if I had to guess. If I was a gambling man, it does have a proximity key, so that's probably what it is. Usually they have one near the back of the vehicle. There's that. We'll move our light. We'll line her up, give her the Fonzarelli. Oh gosh, don't fall over. And that's it. It's in, it's done. I gotta put some of their junk back. There's my socket. Let's see. Kind of hard to see in a minute.
Yeah.
Feel that one for sure.
Yep, there it is.
Oh, there, sorry.
Yeah.
Alright, stand there for just a second, Josh, just in case I drop this. Okay, that's good. Oh, I got the bolts in that still, don't I? You should be able to spin those right off. I had my guy Josh come give me a hand putting that exhaust back in. And we're still waiting on Napa. Story of my life. We'll get these little cross members back in. Come back through with a torque wrench and get those in just a minute. And there it is, folks. As soon as these nuts show up, I don't stock any ultra fine metrics. Kind of sucks when they have 3 pitches, you know. But our threads look great on there where we cut it off with a torch. No casualties at all. So a nut should zippy zap right on those, piece of cake. And then, oh hey, here comes Napper now. I'm slowing down the old Chevrolet. And we'll throw our tires on it. We've got the Blake's bread. We bled the brakes. Try that again. I filled up the brake fluid, made sure that's full. We'll take it for a rip to burn the rust off the rotors, and then we'll cycle the park brake a couple times. And then I think that's it. Then we got to line it up when old Joshy gets done. He's doing a water pump over there on the Mustang. So when he's done with that, we'll get her lined up, but we'll go for a drive first. Let's see if these will work. Oh, it's a little dark up here. I'm going to spritz a little fluid film on those. Yes, I know it's on the exhaust. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not doing it for rust proofing properties. I'm doing it so we don't go just dirty dog trying to run those babies in. You know what I mean? That phone has literally rang since 8 o'clock this morning, non-stop. Clickety clack. Don't talk back. It's like somebody got a little close to that oil pan one day, huh? She got a little ding dong in her. Exhaust is on. don't think we've forgotten anything. Got the plastic jiggly bits back on there. Got our plastic bits here, got our cables. Everything is secure. Even the one bolt that was being temperamental. I bolted the exhaust bracket back on there. Exhaust is intact. Backing plates don't look perfect, but they're pretty good. I think we've got them bent out good enough for the girls we run with. Got our shocks on. They're all torqued to spec. Brake hoses are on. Got this one kind of straightened back out. Got some ding marks in her. Got a little New York rust on there though, you'll never know. Subframe's tight, so we need to take it for a shakedown. We're going to double check our banjo bolts when we get back, make sure they're all good. I'm going to spray this off with some brake parts cleaner where we got some brake fluid on here. Make sure it's all clean and dry so we can identify any new leakage. And that's it. Let me torque the wheels on and go for a rep. I'm going to need a phone just in case. Nobody likes walking. I left the hubcaps off the back. Torque the wheels to factory specs. We need to pull them wheels back off, so we will just leave that off. Look at that, it's got a little text too. Seatbelt's on, text is answered. When I drove it in, there was a little car with the squiggly lines, the traction light that was on, and the no key detected light was on also. Incorrect key ID, incorrect, yeah, so I had that problem. I had to stick the key up here and push the button with it, but that's the way it was when I drove it in, and then that little guy was on when I drove it in initially also. Which is your traction button here. Oh no, it's not. I assumed it was something to do with something else, but that was what was on when I drove it in. Brakes feel good. Whoops, I have to back the seat up a little bit here. Park brake works. Fancy. Here we go. Let's go burn this rust off. Wait for this lady. Here we go. I'll just do our normal brake route here. Actually pretty quiet. I thought they'd be a little louder than they are. Brake pedal feels really good. Let's test out our parking brake. Alright, that seems to function. Slows us down. Get up here. Corner. See the steering wheel straight. Oh, she's a little crook. Well, let's see. Let me get up here. I think it's ticked off to the left a little bit. Which it will be anytime you change your rear alignment. It changes the thrust angle of the car. Yeah, she's a little off to the left there, I'd say. Not too bad, but we'll get the back end straightened up. That drives pretty good, like I said. Wheels just a tiny bit to the left, not too terrible. Brakes are smooth as butter. They look like they were brand new. They might even be OEM from the looks of it, which that's a pretty good score. Oh, and the little traction light went out. I just noticed that. Wow, real observant there, Eric. I just noticed that, so I don't know when it went out, but sometime here. But brakes feel good, everything feels good. We'll go in there with church parking lot, blow a donut. Oh, we are. We're squeaking the tires. You hear that? Pick it up and double check it, make sure all of our lines are high and dry and all that stuff. Up in the air, wheels are off, rotors are shiny. Shiny as they're going to be for the time being. Lots of pad on it, like I say, they may be They may be OEM even. Maybe she was a low mileage car. I don't remember. I have to look on the invoice. This side cleaned up nice. See, lots of pad. Our calipers are nice and free. I did check them before we put them on if anybody's questioning that. I'm gonna go through, pop our plugs out, check the adjustment on our parking brake. Let's have a gander at our hoses. That one's nice and dry. That one's nice and dry. All right. So we should be in good shape. I'm just gonna have Josh line it up for me. We've got adjustable camber and toe in the rear. I should check, maybe that one's, I don't know if that one's loose or not. It's kind of interesting that cam's turned upside down. There's a little bit of damage right here. I don't know if that's from a forklift, I assume. But either way, I'm not even too worried about it because we're gonna throw it on the alignment rack. So that's it. That's fixing your lower control arm on your Hyundai. Not your Hyundai, your Subaru, it's your, where the hell this thing is, a Nissan. Fixing the rear control arm on your Nissan. So, I'll just take a torch, we'll cut this one in half, throw it in the scrap bin, turn it in for short steel. As long as the scrap guy doesn't see our aluminum knuckles, we'll be in good shape. That's it, folks. So that's pretty well it for this one, folks. I got the, that's where I bought that thing at. Guy's shop named Bobby's. Bobby's the grandpa. He's not there anymore. It's run by another guy. A little mom and pop shop in Vince, Alabama, on old Route 216. You guys know where that is, Highway 216, Alabama. Give Bobby's a call. He was really great. Like I say, most of these places you call and deal with are absolute a-holes. 95% of salvage yards you call. I don't know what their deal is, but they hate talking to people. And all I want to do is, I just keep calling. I just call one place, guy's a jerk, hang up, call the next place till you get someplace good. That's what I do. And I landed on this guy, and the price was right, and it worked out really well, and he shipped it. Like I say, it was cheaper than buying 2 of the lower control arms from Nissan, which is what this ultimately needed, was 2 lower control arms. However, you know, the brakes were junk back there, and the back and play, everything's rusty, you know, and every bolt you touch is going to break, and they're going to be stuck in bushing. So this was the most feasible way, and it was the most economical way for the customer too, because I assume it would take just about the same amount of time to piss around with, you know, bolts that are stuck and putting bushings in the knuckles. And, you know, if they want to do the backing plates, now you've ruined both wheel bearings trying to get them off. So I just stopped the snowball and just did it this way. If this had bolts holding the subframe in, or the rear, you know, the cradle, whatever you want to call it, I would have tried to get those bolts loose before I quoted the job, because that's the big problem here in the Rust Belt, is the bolts that go up into the unibody. They can be a huge, you know, problem to get out. So be cautious what you're doing. But this one with the studs, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I don't have anything else to say. I'm gonna put the wheels back on it, park it outside till my guy Josh can get the alignment done, then we'll ship it down the road. Whatever was going on with the traction light has resolved itself, and that's it. I hope you guys can resolve your problems at home and have some time to go in that comment section to leave a comment, a question, a concern. Look for us on the Insta and the Facebook, but not on TikTok. Scumbags still out there stealing our stuff. But that's okay. We'll get them someday. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.